So, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back with me, Ahmad and Riski. And now in here, I'm about to do a presentation of a summary that I have been met with my group. And yep, it was about introduction to a poetry. If I'm not wrong. Okay, let's get into it. Now we're getting into the first part. Is about the form of poetry. So this part is title is what is form. So from what I read, this part is talking about the form of the poetry, or it means the structure of the poetry. And it said that it doesn't really matter in the poetry because the form itself is actually just a toolbox for the poetry. So it just can make it looks better when you trying to show the poetry. For example, it's like when you put the rhythm or the word beat to the poetry, it could make the poetry more interesting than just a free verse poetry. So it's just make it more interesting and more entertaining. So yes, just like that. But it doesn't mean that free verse poetry is actually bad. It's still cool though. So yeah, it's just based on the depends on the poet itself. Oh, oops, sorry. So now we are getting into the next part. Is about new poetry. So it was the second part. So in this part we will talk about six topic on this part. So okay, the first one is about studying new poetry. So in this one, when you trying to make a poetry, you will try either one of this. It was you either make the old version, or you make it just like the modern one, or adapt the poetry itself. So it could be more fresh and new, but it doesn't mean you need to forget the everything from the past, from the poetry. Now we are getting into the next thing in this part. So it was about type of writing. One, it will be intentional writing. So in this topic, the things that you should know is the poem that you write, it should have a meaning that you clearly plan to write on the poem. Meanwhile, the third one itself is the name of the topic is non-intentional writing. So it's talk about like the reverse one version from the second one. Like the first one is talk about the purpose that you really plan that, right? Meanwhile the second one, the non-intentional writing, it was talk about the poetry, it doesn't need to have a clear meaning on the purpose. So it just can be poof, tiba-tiba muncul ya. I don't know what the English language, yeah, I forgot. So yeah, it was like that. So it could be interpreted in many different ways for the non-intentional writing. Okay, so now we're getting into the next thing, the next topic of this part, and it was about it's an important things that you should pay attention when you are trying to make a poetry or trying to write a poetry. The first one is, of course, it was a vocabulary. You need a great vocabulary to make the poem, because if you don't have the vocabulary, you cannot write anything. The paper just will be empty. There will be nothing. So yeah, the first thing that you will really need the the things that really important is vocabulary. You need so many vocabulary because it was super important for the poetry itself that you are about to write. And the second one is syntax. It was like how you organize the words, or the words that you have been thinking then you about to write. So yes, that is like putting a puzzle in pieces of putting a pieces of puzzle get together so it will be completed. And it looks good. That's why you need syntax. That's why you need to pay attention to the syntax. Now we are getting into the last topic on this part. It was measurement. So the measurement itself, like the name, kalau di bahasa Indonesianya itu pengukuran. So it will talk about the, like for example, like how long each line of the poetry, or how many syllables are in the line, or things like that. And they usually use the measurements to add special meaning to their poems. Jadi untuk menambahkan memang arti-arti kayak pesan-pesan lebih spesial gitu ke puisi mereka. Things like that lah. The thing is also can make the poetry looks more interesting. The measurements. Let's go into the next part. It was the third part, if I'm not wrong. It was about the part in the theater, first drama, or kalau bahasa Indonesia itu pertunjukan syair kalau nggak salah ya. Okay, let's go into it. As we know, in the world of theater, there is so many people like directors and actors work together, right? Poets, they have their own ideas, and they are making a play and planning. They making a play involves a planning and a practice and their ideas, and it should be cooperate with other people that involved in the theater itself. They also have to have a clear vision, and sometimes they are also have to fight they have to fight for their ideas, because sometimes the place that are the poetry right and the theater itself, sometimes it could be different. So like that. And even some poetry, not every poetry, but just some poetry, there is a few that have start their own theater groups, but it's a lot of work. It's really hard. So like that. It's just a few of the next topic in this part is first drama. Okay. The first drama itself, it have been like a hidden gem in the poetry history. The first drama is like a hidden river, and sometimes it does show up, but not many that people notice this kind of drama. And when it touched the 1019 or in 19th century, there is a lot of there is so many first drama in that century, more than people just realize. And it does important in some place, and even so many famous poets in English have been trying to do this drama first thing. And an ancient Greek influence, the ancient Greek influence itself have been really so still matter until this this day poetry in theater. They are have made so many things, like for example it's like the big ideas like order or violence, justice, freedom, and faith. It comes from the ancient Greek influence. So there is also a Shakespearean style, and yeah, you guys know who is Shakespeare, like who is Shakespeare's, right? And he is one of the most he is, yeah, one of the most person that have contributing a lot to the poetry world. And the Shakespearean styles, they only have a few actors because it's more practical, and this plays can dive deep into politics and society and be intense like tragedies. So jadi biasanya Shakespearean style ini dia lebih ke tentang politik dan masyarakat, dan biasanya juga isinya tentang tragedi. So now we are getting into the last part of the presentation. It was about the sequence and the long poem. So there will be two forms of long written poetry in here. So we are getting into the first one. It was sequence. So sequence is like a bunch of poetry or a group of poetry that have been get in order and get grouped, get I don't know, compilate, yeah, something like that, get sequence. So they are getting into one become a one poetry, and those poetry is like having a journey in the story of the poetry. They are having so many different topic, but the topic could be connected to each poetry. The topic can be connected. Like the ideas. So this still could be, the story will be relevant. So it will be not, what is it called, tetap sealur gitu jalannya, puisinya tetap satu, ceritanya tetap satu gitu. Nah, yeah, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, like that. And the second one is the long poem. As we know, the long poem, like it was, for example, it's like epic. You guys know an epic poetry like Beowulf or something like that. It was the poetry that has a storytelling, and it's telling about some big things. And maybe a heroic poetry things, or yeah, things like that, or with a religious thing too, it could be. And yeah, like that it was. So there are two forms of long written poetry. The first one is sequence, and the second one is the long poem. So yeah, I think that's all I can say. Now I'm about to go sleep, so peace. Thanks for watching, bro.